His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you wear vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court that got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coleman today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
My money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh, I just like me, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh, international community comes over here, oh, La Bira. Oh, my people, now they got La Bira who want it, oh, now they got La Bira who want it, oh, now they got La Bira who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Adrani, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Adrani, oh! Hey, people talk about property, oh! Farmer, just asking you, oh! Which one, oh!
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe. Another day again, we acknowledge his guardians over us throughout the night and into today. Grateful we are. Thank you too for coming on. We appreciate your presence. You are so great, so massive, so extraordinary. Let's bring few of you on. Time is of the essence. Musa A. Sharif, Congo Town, Malu Fofana, 20 Street Sinker, Relita Warrants, Delaware, USA, Abraham Kroman, Iron Factory, Mohammed Skamara, 72nd. Is that where you're from? Or United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi. C. Mac Colley Senior, United States. Philip Tupa, Dallas, Texas. Aries Solomon, Bernardsville Estate, the palace of the regime speaker. Elizabeth Thomas, Saytown, Sinker. Emmanuel Brough, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Divine. Perry Slobot, New Jersey, USA. Marcos Cole, Ominga Community. Fatu Konen, Kakata, Magibi County. Tomansin Kofa. Samokatine, Caldwell, Upper Caldwell. Royal Always Va. Samuel Kofi Woods Jr. Cogway Widow. Lekweyi Jerry Jr. Cox City. Saturday Woodaware, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Roland Devuto. Patrick Factory. Emmanuel Connor, D3, District 3, Vinicius Bar, New Crew Town, Claudia DuPont, Claudia Allison, Delaware, USA, Boakat Zodua, Mecklin Street, Waterside, Benson Devio Victor, Emmanuel, that's Amara Kamara, Brussels, Belgium, Stanley Bozo, Congress City, Stephen Yakadi, Cotton Tree, District 2, Lower Magibi, Abraham Swain, Chicken Soup Factory, William Hoff, Minnesota, USA, Ansu Fambule, Patricia Zia, your office, Orita Jikla, Usman Sol, Business Center, Gale Street, Juan Momolu, the same place, Sekou Kamara, Rita Christian Higgs, Massachusetts, USA, Orita Sunday Choir, all of you great people, right? The chairman, Roman Rico, Kenny Ball, Latu Palm, Foreshot, District 18, Intellectual Center, Block 18, Intellectual Center chairman, the chairman that is making breakthrough, doing everything within his reach creatively to get souls won politically onto George Weah going into 2029. That's good, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the innovation, everything. Yes. All right. So let's go to some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia briefly. The United States has tightened visa rules for Ugandan nationals, introducing a refundable visa bond of up to $15,000 for some travelers and temporarily pausing the issuance of immigrant visas. Speaking in Kampala, U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, William Pope, said the measures are part of Washington's efforts to enforce immigration laws and strengthen national security. Under the new rules, Ugandans applying for B1 and B2 tourist and business visas may be required to post a refundable bond before a visa is issued. United States officials say the bond will be returned to travelers who comply with visa conditions, including leaving the country on time. The policy is part of a broader United States visa bond program that also affects nationals of several other countries, including Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Tanzania, and Cameroon. Convicted separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu has filed an appeal against his conviction and life imprisonment sentence. Mr. Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, was convicted in 2025 by Nigeria's Federal High Court in Abuja on terrorism-related charges and is now asking Nigeria's Court of Appeal to overturn the judgment. In his appeal, Kanu is repeatedly seeking to have his conviction squashed, his sentence set aside, and to be discharged and acquitted on all counts. Nigerian authorities say Mr. Kanu's trial and conviction follow due process, while his supporters continue to call for his release. And Zambian authorities have arrested a Tanzanian national described as a notorious drug kingpin during intelligence-led raids in the capital, Lusaka. According to Zambia Drug Enforcement Commission, the suspect, Ahmed Muhamram, age 40, was on the agency watch list and was apprehended in the Leida area. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. Let's get to events here, and then we are out for today. Let's start with the mockery, the no regret, no remorse shown by the government. Moreover, the statement that went down. I didn't know that Unity Party people, their statements can really go into the bones, flesh, marrow, soul, skin. I didn't know. Just how the people can say they think of hell, just as it is hurting those people whom they displaced. the statements coming from them really, really hurting the government officials. It pinning them down to Joseph Yema Boakai. So much so that they are responding. And they're not responding responsibly. They are responding unruly. They are very immature. They are making mockery of the subjection they have put these people into. Let's have a listen to this lady, the CEO of Help Yourself First. The statement she made, this statement, rescue, another guy, rescue her, it really went into their soul. It touched them. Listen, before we bring the government reaction, here is it. Hey, no, please, I beg you. Here is it. Let's go to Help Yourself, CEO.
My money, oh, I just actually for like 30 days, oh, I just locked me up, oh, I can't get out, oh, I can't get out, oh, international community can't come here, oh, La Biro, oh, my people, now they got La Biro who want it, oh, now they got La Biro who want it, oh, now they talk about La Biro who want it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Hey, people talk about property, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. You can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh.
This line from the lady really touched Joseph Yema Boakai. It touched his officials. They came out to react, making reference to that identical line from the lady, which shows that truly they failed the people and the people are tired, and that if elections, the only thing that's saving Unity Party, the only thing that's saving the rescue, we got few years ahead. But if elections were tomorrow, Unity Party done. But listen, it will live with the people for the next 4, 5, 6 years. They're not going to leave it anytime soon. If any Unity Party person would think that what they are doing to the people, couple of weeks, months from now, they will forget it, that you should be in a dreamland. They will never. This line really touched. It really touched them. Truly, fake refuge, false prophet.
Oh, you say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you can rescue us, oh. I tried it, oh. Hey, people talk about property, oh. We tried it, oh.
Why it is, let's take it for discussion's sake, it is AFL's property that you want it. The way you went in, it injured somebody, displaced somebody, created an inhumane condition, which anybody within the very AFL, the very defense minister would not want to experience. The very Joseph Yema Boakai would not want to experience. Nobody within the executive would want to experience such life. Then talk about a person or those people. The Minister of Information, Unity Party Minister of Information, amen. They think in hell. And you say you get thick skin. And you say you get thick skin. And you say nothing can move here. Oh, The Minister of Information went on to address this at the everyday Ministry of Briefing, because that's the only thing they do there. Ministry of Briefing, you can see nothing extra. If they're condemning somebody, they're talking about the building, how the building, they pin the building. That's the only two projects they have, they know. The Minister of Information goes to say, one cannot go on Facebook claiming, meaning the statement the woman made. Yeah? Here is it. He's quoted word for word. Is this the rescue they came to give us? And these are the exact words of the woman. The Minister of Information, Jerry Lee McPeer, got vexed. Instead of empathizing and giving that kind of psychological relief, which anybody will expect of a person of his level, his caliber, chose to vilify, to condemn, to mock the woman, that she will go on Facebook, on social media, using this statement. Is this the kind of rescue they came to give us? Pierre is saying, why did the woman say that? She couldn't have said any other thing besides coming on hard on the rescue mission.
Oh, you say you get to rescue us, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. Rescue team, oh. You say you get to rescue us, oh. Hey, the people talk about property, oh. Which one, oh.
When will you want to be that heartless, unremorseful? Why? That's immaturity to the core. Take it or leave it. That's immaturity. Nobody in his or her rational self will stoop so low, not taking into consideration the dehumanizing nature that you created for the people. Let's agree that it's AFL property. But doesn't the people have the right to express themselves? Should they not express themselves? When people are angry, they say what they can say as a means of relieving the pains and the hurt. Now, how can you claim to be highly educated and you don't know these simple elementary things? That the woman should not have gone on social media and say, is this the rescue they came to give us? But she's right, that the rescue now, what in place? Is that not rescue? That's not rescue government? That rescue. Come on. Stop, man. Mr. Minister, don't stoop so low. This is your government. Ellen came in, Ellen had our government. It was Ellen's government. We are his government. It was Weah's government. This is Joseph Yuma Boaka's government. Only one person stands and take the oath. Joseph Yuma Boaka stood and said, I, Joseph Yuma Boaka, do solemnly swear. He campaigned on rescue. So this is a rescue government. You expect that the people should not say rescue. They should say something else. When rescue is subjecting them, when rescue is digging their graves broad day without remorse, and you say that people should not. You condemning a woman, showing no remorse whatsoever. Why should you go on social media and say, is this the rescue they came to give us? But you presented rescue to the people. The people don't know any other besides rescue. And you have an information minister so heartless, wicked to the core. You can do this. It is wrong. We all know that it's AFS property, they're claiming it whichever way. But these are human beings with their properties damaged. You gave the people less than no time. The woman said over 500,000 investment gone. How is she going to recover from that? You have no time to think about that. It's not important to you people because she's not one of your relatives. Or she doesn't align with your policy probably because we're seeing destruction going on here. Unity Party interest. They will protect it. They will leave it. We saw the situation with Kalando. Wherever they carry on demolition and Unity Party pressing around there, they will leave it. They will empathize and sympathize with that person. But once it is not, that person is not empathizing, that person is not within Unity Party, forget it. Can be that heartless, man, condemning the woman for saying that she's entitled to her opinion. Just as you, the Minister of Information, and every other person entitled to your opinion, she's entitled to express herself. She's being destroyed. Her life is ruined by Unity Party government, and you expect that she would not say it? Who should she? Must she say Ellen Johnson? Must she say CDC? Must she say interim government? Must she say National Patriotic Front? No. This is rescue. The rescue in charge. It is in Barker's time that the people claim the property and destroy. Claim the property, the land, and destroy those properties. And you expect that she would not say it? Or so that invincible, that spirit destroy her property, that spirit displays her? Come on, man. Just stop this thing. It will haunt you. This thing will haunt you for years. It will haunt you for years. And it will go down to individual level. The haunt will go down to individual level. You will see what will start happening to your individual partisans. What you people have done to these people, they will not forget it. Already you have seditions who have that what you did to them on that Saturday, or it was on Saturday. They're not going to forget it. They're still living with it. Then the other people from on the other side who are not seditions, you're demolishing, you're displacing them without regret. And you think they're going to say after 3 weeks, rescued our government. After 1 year, our government, they're not going to say, they're going to start searching for alternatives. That's how it works. They now see rescue as devil. They know that they made mistake now. They are saying within themselves, had we known, we would not have gone for these people. They are showing their real color to us. They came with the garment of black, but with the garment of white. But under that garment, the white garment was black. Now they have taken on the white. We're saying the black garment. Can be that heartless. Telling a woman, won't go on social media claiming, is this the rescue they came to give us? Oh, but what you say? You say you rescue. You say we have messed the country up. So you rescue the country. So people should not identify you. That is your identity. That is your identity. That's who you are. You say you are rescued. You say you rescue the country. Now you're killing the very people that you rescue because this is tantamount to death. Then what do you have done? Why these people look at the other woman that was breastfeeding her baby in the open? What if rain had just come down? God knows how to work. He just stopped the rain. Imagine if it was raining. Those hundreds of people, where they would have gone. Look at the woman outside in the dew, breastfeeding that baby. no good condition. That baby could get affected by anything. And don't talk about the other people. And you people have no time. You're in your windshield cars. You're enjoying your wines. You're great in your offices. You mock the people. You say anything you want to say because you're in your offices. Everything okay. You have enough United States dollars in your pocket. So you people have no time. So think, what if? But God has a way of turning it around. When you inflict pain on people, God has a way of allowing you to taste that pain the same way so you will know what the other people went through. You want will play 1,000,000 times.
Rescue us, oh! I tried you. Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! I tried you, oh! I tried you, oh! I tried you, oh! Rescue team, oh! You say you can rescue us, oh! I tried you, oh! And the people took my property, oh! We tried you, oh!
No one is saying that AFL should not claim their land. But you want to put on that human spirit that let's give these people ample time, at most 2-3 months. By then they will have, if not all, many of them will have found place to go. And then we can come in. Look at the time the bulldozers went in early in the morning on the people when they were sleeping. Imagine what kind of normal government does that? Early in the morning. Now, watch the timing. Watch the timing between this and CDC party headquarters destruction. It was just around the same time. When did they move on CDC party headquarters? 12:31, 2, they'll start breaking down. When did they move on these people? Early, very early. They took them unaware. That what they did not. They did not take a single material, not a person, taking away a single material because they were caught unaware. You can do that. You can do that. But that's rescue now. Rescuing everywhere. We sympathize with you people, honestly. We sympathize with you people, but that's rescue. Then, Mr. President, the president goes to add spice to what his information minister said. The president goes to the military barrack to identify with the victims according to his office. The president gave cheek. The president gave cheek. Here is the man. Here is President Joseph Boakai, who will say people can get on radio. They are unruly. They can say all kinds of things. That's the reason he doesn't listen to radio. He only listens to ELWA and BBC. For him, the radio stations, people get on radio, they say undesirable things, they get cheek, they insult, all kinds of things. But here is Mr. President, who in his ironic self is being cheated the same way. No one can argue this. Come on. It's not because he's the president. He's not above reproach. He's not a person to be worshipped. He's just a person, and that person is the president. But it doesn't say he's immaculate. The president went to the place. Hear what he said. Justifying the act. We not say that is wrong, the AFL property, the AFL land. We only saying the way they move in. Say if they had given these people at most 2 months, you think this woman would have been crying like this? In no time, she will have found place somewhere, somehow to be squatting while she gets her leg back together along with the other people. But they were caught unaware. Even if they were given time, they were given less than no time. Less than no time is no sufficient time to get your things together. Hear what Mr. President said about the same 72nd barrack thing. He said, God is not making new land. God is not making new land. It's the army land. And the army is going back to take it. Yeah, Mr. President, he spiritualized it. That now he know Bible. The deacon Paul spiritualized the conflict, making fun of them. He said, God is not making new land. So we hold Mr. President's statement. This same statement we use it against Mr. President. And he said, God not making new land. Hold on. Yeah. When we using our biblical thing, then you can say, all kind of, your president, he said, God is not making new land. So he know the Bible now, he know God, he preaching. Oh, the president preaching. The president preaching. He said, God is not making new land. Come on, shut up. Did God tell you he was making new land in old land? Did God say he's making new land in old land? Did God say he's making land for AFA and not making land for the other people? If God, that thing you're talking, you said, Mr. President, that you even know, and you even know the spiritual implication. You sat down over there because you're president. You made mockery of the people. You brought God into it. You know what you're saying? You understood the implication of your statement. God is not making land. Oh, come on. Stop that. That's why the Bible said, do not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. This is it. This is it. What has God got to do with it one yet? What has God got to do with it one? Do with it. Then he said, God is not making new land. It's the army land. And the army is going back to take it. Yeah, that's the army land. But you did not give the people ample time. Your colleagues were here. You were here with Ellen. You were under Ellen. These things came up. Ellen told the people, you gave the people time to leave. Ellen did not go on the people suddenly like the rapture would just occur. Ellen gave the people time where she wanted to demolish. She gave time for the people to leave. She knew that it is wrong to just move on people suddenly. That these were the same people who voted for us, and we can't just move on them like that. Let's give them time. We saw Aya Ellen's time. We saw Aya Weir's time. Those leaders could have justified, but they look at it from a humanity standpoint, that these people are human beings. These people voted for us, even if they did not vote for us, but they are humans. You can just push people out suddenly simply because the land is yours. You want to give them time so that they will leave because you will need them in the future. That's how people think. It's not so much of the power that you wield. You enjoy the power, but the power has limitation. When the people say no, no. When the people say we're not voting rescue, we'll never vote for Joseph Imabwaka, you go or you come down. The same people will turn around and say God not making vote. And the president said God is not making new land. The people will tell you that God is not making new vote. The president who said people can be cheeky, unruly. Yeah. So everybody, man, that's why Jesus Christ said, he who has not sinned, let him be the first to throw the stone. He who is clean of the cleanest of the clean, let him be the first to throw the stone. The entire country is tense. People worrying all over the place. Rescue has created that atmosphere of fear. People going to bed, they're worrying. They're looking out. They're asking people, when they hear sound, heavy sound, they're looking through the windows to see whether that bulldozer coming to start clearing. You all read the article that the old man, Martin Kolipo, are condemning them. Then Mr. President goes to the barrack today and say, God is not making new land. Oh, is that what you say, Mr. President? God is not making new land? The man I tell you, the man start giving your cheek. So your market in your diary book. And you used to say, oh, CDC harmonize, our pay will harmonize your vote. So that is it. When the time comes, you tell rescue, God is not making new votes. President Barker said, God is not making new land. So you tell him that God is not making new votes. Simple as that, yeah? All right. So that will take us to another crisis situation. Oh, it will take us to another crisis situation. It's not easy. The entire country is tense. Protests all over. Hundreds of workers of AFCON, now African Confederation of African Football, but they have the same acronym. Workers of AFCON, a subcontracted company of ArcelorMittal, staged mass protest against the company over what they refer to as bad labor practice. Bad labor practice. They chanted, no benefit, no work. No benefit, no work. Accusing the authorities of ill-treating them, failed to pay their benefits, cannot address low payment for them as workers. They are by far below. They are earning peanuts. Very, very small money they are receiving. They took to the street to vent out their anger, their frustration, just everything.
You can see we have AML security, they are around this hour.
So if you can look at this project, this is a project that we are continuing to talk about. Brother Liberians, let us be real. This project is $1.4 billion project. How can a Liberians, your own country, you build this project and you don't have a benefit? That's why the company is trying to tell, AFCON is trying to tell us that we don't have a benefit. We are requesting for hazard benefit. We are requesting for honor pay. So if you look at it now, we are carrying it live. So this is the time we need our benefit. The project is coming to an end. So we need our benefit. Can you please come into our aid? We are calling on the national government to come into our aid for us to get our benefit. We need our benefit. Our benefit will help us because tomorrow our children, our unborn children, even the one that we are born, other than they know that we are working. But at the end, they will ask us a question. That is what you do with the money when you are working with AFCON. When you build a washing plant, what you do with the money. So we are crying for our benefit. We are calling on our superintendent, Madam Gono. We are calling on Senator Nyan D. Toye to come to our aid. Even our Senator Samuel Koga to come to our aid. Even the affected district, we are calling on Nyan Flomo and Negegi to come to our aid. So, Marty Cody, we are also calling upon you to carry this video live, to share this video. So we are requesting for our benefit at this hour. Thank you very much.
When you think that is enough, another one has popped up. Demolitions all over the place, protests all over the place. The atmosphere is filled with anger, frustration, cries. Rescue has just turned everything upside down. Nurses on strike. The Liberia Association of Nurse Anesthetics, they too are on a nationwide strike. They want the legislature to intervene by investigating what they say, long-standing salary and benefits disparity within the health sector. They accused the Ministry of Health of repeatedly downplaying their concerns, and now it has reached the boiling point. That's it. Everywhere, protests everywhere. Why government demolishing? People are crying. People are being downsized and right-sized and demolished everywhere. It's too bad of. They are also demanding a comprehensive restructuring of salaries and benefits. They want compensation to be based on professional merit, qualification, and occupational risks attached to their responsibilities. They think that such reforms are crucial not only for improving the staff welfare, but will strengthen patient safety, security, and the overall healthcare delivery system. Anything short of this, according to them, they will not stop the strike. They will continue. That will take us to harmonization. One of the topical and trending issues, harmonization. The Minister of Finance, Unity Party Minister, Augustine Kwongafwan, said they reversed harmonization. And he was specific. LACC, GAC, Drug Enforcement Agency, the Supreme Court, and judges. The debate took another turn with former Finance Minister Samuel Twe debunking the Minister of finance and development planning that the information he shared on Class Reloaded, Unity Party propaganda platform, was far from the truth. That you can harmonize salary or harmonize how am I saying it? You can reverse harmonization because it's not a program, it was legislated. And to do that, you have to move to the legislature to repeal or undo that. Former Minister Tue said, Minister Gaffron, firstly, LHCC and GHC were never harmonized. These institutions already had one pay system. The harmonization reform only apply a standard paid grade to their pay system. This means they were now following a rule-based system to hire and pay people, not the arbitrary discretion of paying outside a generally enforced, equity-enhanced, rule-based pay grade. And since they were integrity institutions, LHCC and GHC were never subjected to the control exercise upon the more than 100 GOL entities that are part of central government. Your staff and consultants may have to do better work in having you speak about reversing harmonization. Secondly, as we have said time and again, reversing harmonization is not increasing salary. In its first year, harmonization increased the salary of 15,000 workers. And over the next 3 years, about 45,000 GOL workers got pay increase, including university instructors whose pay went up by more than 60%. Today, the Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, Senator Snow, is now requested his colleagues, prevail on his colleagues to have the finance minister move to them to explain. Here is his communication. After explaining everything, the act, what it is or what harmonization is, he said, this is what he said. Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence Pro Tem, Liberian Senate, in session, reference alleged reversal of harmonization. I herewith write through your esteemed office to respectfully bring to the attention of this honorable body a matter of significant public concern arising from recent pronouncements reportedly made by Minister Augustine Gaffron, Minister of Finance and Development Planning. Madam President Pro Tem and distinguished colleagues, reports in our possession indicate that the Minister of Finance and Development Planning has reversed the harmonization of remuneration at some government or governing institutions to include, but not limited to, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Auditing Commission, as well as the judiciary branch of government. There is no gainsaying that these reported actions raise concerns and fundamental questions regarding legislative authorization, compliance with approved budgetary decisions, and adherence to the existing legal framework governing public sector remuneration. It can be recalled that the Act to establish the National Remuneration Standardization of 2019 remains in full effect, having not been repealed, amended, or otherwise modified by the legislature, provides the statutory basis for harmonization across public institutions and does not, on its face, authorize unilateral reversal by the executive branch or any of its ministries and or organs. In consideration of the foregoing and in keeping with the Senate's constitutional oversight responsibility, I respectfully request that this honorable body formally invite the Minister of Finance and Development Planning to appear before the Senate to, one, clarify the veracity of the repeated reversals of harmonization. Two, provide the specific legal authority or statutory reliance under which such actions were taken, if any. These inquiries pursuant to our oversight responsibility are essential to safeguard legislative prerogatives, uphold the rule of law, and ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public resources. I further pray the thoughtful Senator Edwin Mervyn Snow, Senior Senator of Birmingham County. Simply put, Snow saying the whole thing here, the legislative thing, it was legislated. So how the Minister of Finance will come and say he reversed harmonization? So let's take it for discussion, say that he was right. But let him come to explain why and how he did it. Because under the law, we participated, we concurred with the House of Representatives. It's not something that you will come from a political standpoint. It has to be repealed. It has to be repealed. So if the Minister of Finance, according to Snow, Senator Snow, that he reversed harmonization, then let him come and tell us how he did it, because the harmonization is a law. For a law to no longer exist, it has to be repealed, undue by the legislature. The law cannot be in full effect, and then you come and say that we have reversed. What's the dichotomy there? The law is in full effect. The law still exists. Then a political statement comes out that we have reversed harmonization. Then what becomes of the law that came from the legislature? So Snow is saying, okay, but then, Chief, no problem. Please come and explain to us, because that law has not been repealed. You say you want to. Please come and give us clarity. So you see how rescue is proceeding. Rescue is proceeding like the Machiavellian. They're using the Machiavellian theory. Might makes right. We have the power. We have the might. We determine. The rest of the people dare question us. That's how Unity Party is proceeding. And some of the people, if not very many, know that the trend they are taking is wrong. You cannot have a law in place You disrespect the law. You move with a political right. But when it is against you, when it is against another person, then you say the law is the law. Why it can be the law? That went into full legal framework. To reverse it, the legislature will have to move to repeal it. Meaning to quash it, that it no longer exists as a law. But that's finance minister. He say, the man, sorry to say, but actually, the man era really good. We know Gafwan. We know Gafwan. We be a riot with Gafwan. Gafwan was Gafwan, where he had all those technocrats, the seasoned economists. And then his boss at that time, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you know the woman sound economically. The woman sound. You know, that era, forget it. She is economic czar. So she not like Boaka, when Boaka that he know nothing. He's just there. Ellen, Gafwan did not face difficulty because on mail experts, the economists were here. Then Ellen in her prime season. So it was easy. It was easier for Gafwan. It was easier for Amara Kone. It was easier for Boema Kamara because their boss, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, is seasoned economically. She will sit down and discuss the issue. Unlike President Boaga today, that can sit down and discuss any economic issue. Whatever they dash before he say yes. This thing, this harmonization, you're listening to Ellen on her program on LBS called The Liberian Renaissance. Hear what she said about this harmonization. She was asked that question. You're listening to her response. The woman is economically sound. They want to know how this thing came into being and what needs to be done. It's not making a political statement. The F1 anything. Actually, Gafwan is educated, but Gafwan is having a hard because he does not have the backup. He does not have the backup. Who really helping Gafwan? This government, look at this government. Naming one seasoned economist in this government. But prior to or before Gafwan, when Gafwan entered government, but first thing, what did Ellen do? Ellen sent him into school. Ellen said, go and learn some of the basic things. The area I'm about to send you is technical. The Ministry of Finance. It's not a political place. It's a technical zone. It's not a place for a politician. So I need you. Go. Ellen sent him into school for, I think, a year. Harvard. Ellen was not doing it because she liked Gafwan, but she wanted Gafwan to lead that ministry in a way that would bring result. And she was willing to help with her expertise. So fast forward, he had things going well for him. You know, he's able calling on Gafwan like the way it is today. No, nobody. I can't remember all those times that people ever query Gafwan on any policy or so. Gafwan was very seldom he faced the media. During Ellen's time, Gafwan was not in the media all of the time. In fact, the journalists were forcing Gafwan to talk because he was delivering. He was delivering. You remember the HEPEC situation when Ellen King knew that? The HEPEC situation, you remember Liberia debt, the voucher? Ellen sent him to do that. Now, he was not successful because he knew everything, but the people he had around him at that time and his boss, Ellen. Why everything? People questioning it about Gafwan. Ask yourself, why everything this time around? The man who Boaka brought, why people questioning everything about him? He's been condemned everywhere. Because he does not have people around him to really help. The people around him, they are political too. They want him to fail, so Boaka will take him from there, and one of them appointed. You know, that tribal thing there too. The Gio, the Mano, the Kisi, all tribal playing, all kind of thing playing over there. Forget that thing we know. We get people inside there. Then his boss is not economically inclined. That's why anything they tell the boss, yeah, he accepts it. We know that for a fact. Yeah, the Sona, why the paper they put in for him, he was just reading. They asked Ellen on her program with Reverend Dr. Lawrence Brobler. He does the moderation called the Liberia Renaissance. They asked her about the Sona, how it is prepared. Y'all go back to that clip and y'all listen to Ellen's response. Y'all will know that the people mess Boaka up. You're listening to Ellen's response. The Sona, how it is prepared. The woman never allowed anything to go. She made sure she perused, she edited everything, because you are going to read. You are the last editor. You proofread that thing over and over. Why are you proofreading? You're checking for mistake. You're checking for words that will give you hard time, so that the people who know, you ask them how it is pronounced, just as we can do in broadcast. When we're coming on the air, certain words that we know will give you a hard time, then go to the news director. Mr. Dioshemon, how do you pronounce this word? You say the word, pronounce the word, fine. Then you take it, start rehearsing it, right? So when you come on the air now, you're pronouncing it the same way. But now your own thing. You saw it, and then you ask. That's what they call proofread. Because when you stand before the people, nothing short of perfection. When you sit down before the people, nothing short of perfection. You ask Ellen, they asked her that question about the Sona, how it is prepared. That question came against the backdrop of our president blunder, because they just gave him all kind of things to read. All right. That will be doing it for that. Then let's close before we get to you with the solidarity and trust for a new day. They issue a statement on what unfolded and issues that are unfolding around with this demolition. They issue a statement. They said, following a visit to devastated areas of Saytown, and they condemn the illegal state-backed, that's how they term it, state-backed demolition of private properties carried out by armed police officers acting on what they call corrupted court order. Stern said, this heartless operation represents a dangerous and ongoing weaponization of the court system to serve the interest of powerful, well-connected individuals at the expense of poor but legitimate landowners. Stern is alarmed by the escalating land grab crisis that has already displaced tens of thousands of citizens in Moserado County alone, triggering repeated humanitarian emergencies in communities such as Totten Creek, Sinkhole Road, Newport Street, Butchero Island, Brewerville, and Congo Town. These demolitions have left families homeless, traumatized, and without protection. Against this backdrop, the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day stand has received credible information from community-based investigators that the state-backed Bloody Bulldozer campaign may soon expand to target additional communities in Roto Town and the Painesville area. We urgently call on the state to halt these actions immediately. Post-war Liberia needs land reform that safeguards vulnerable communities, not the weaponization of courts and state power to dispossess them of their homes. These heartless demolitions are pushing families into homelessness, hunger, and despair under the silent watch of President Joseph Boakai. His failure to act signals tolerance for abuses committed against the very people who was elected to protect. Stan is therefore not surprised by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's endorsement of this brutal campaign against poor people, which reflects a continuation of the Sirleaf-Boakai demolition legacy that displaced thousands during their 12 years in power. Why Stan respects the rule of law? We firmly reject its abuse by judges, officials, and elites who manipulate legal processes to dispossess struggling communities. Such actions deepen injustice, inflame public anger, and erode trust in the state. Stan calls on all Liberians, especially affected communities, to peacefully but forcefully resist illegal evictions and defend their land rights within the confines of the law. We denounce what has become a bloody bulldozer campaign against the poor and perceived opponents of the Boakai-led government, and we reaffirm our commitment to nonviolent resistance in defense of the people, their lands, and constitutional order. The Satan demolition is not only inhumane, it also violates Liberia's constitution, including Articles 20A and 22A, the Land Rights Act of 2018, and applicable tenure laws. It further breaches Liberia's binding international obligations under the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, Article 11, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Article 14, 16, and 18, and the United Nations Guidelines on Forced Evictions. In solidarity with the victims of Satan, the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day Stand will deploy civil rights advocates and community organizers to support affected families in protecting their land and mobilizing for peaceful civil actions in pursuit of justice. We call on local and international humanitarian organizations to urgently assist Satan displaced residents now left without shelter, food, water, and health care. How did they end? They ended this way. It is beyond dispute that the Satan demolition tragedy is unlawful, unconstitutional, and intolerable. Accordingly, as we prepare to engage additional competent lawyers to fight for these vulnerable victims, we also go to Satan to stand with our displaced brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, and their children, to remain with them, sleep under tents if necessary, struggle with them, and defend them until their lands and rights are fully restored. We take this stand because failure to act risks pushing the country toward deeper instability and social breakdown. Stan remains resolute in preventing that outcome through sustained, peaceful resistance. The defense of land rights in Satan is the defense of constitutional governance in Liberia. Stan's position. So, this may not meet your taste. You think that it is not necessary. You think that the people voted wrongly. You just want to take politics out of it. Forget about everything, politics out of it. Whichever way you can help. They are homeless. They have nothing to wear. Destruction does not leave anything good. That's why they say destruction. The word demolition means destruction. You saw that video that went viral, the woman under that makeshift stuff in the open fighting to keep the child alive, while Unity Party people look on with no remorse, no regret whatsoever. Whatever you can do, whichever way you can be of help to humanity, look at this situation as, if you want to put it in a political context, you can do. But take it just as the event in Luke chapter 10. The Good Samaritan, the priest passed. In this situation, the priest is Unity Party people, show no regret whatsoever. Their affiliates, the Levi, pass on. You want to be that Good Samaritan that stopped by. One pair of slinger, a pair of shirt, a pen, a bowl, a plate, just what you can do. Help humanity. Take off the political sentiment. When you put political sentiment in your mind, you will not. In this situation, God needs everybody to be of help. Just a shirt given to somebody, just a bag of water given to somebody over there, God could use that to open door for you, to bless you double. God uses simple things, simple things. That's what you see when something happened in Europe, in America. You see the people, they move in with that huge humanitarian assistance. They want no recognition from it. They score no political capital from it, but they see it as humanitarian response. Help somebody. Everywhere you are, those who are displaced in the NTA community, I'm told that they too going through this, Satan, all those communities that are named, wherever, whichever way you can help, please do. Be that Good Samaritan that stop by and help. If you are a Christian, and I know you are, but it also cuts across religion. But I use that because I am a Christian. And that can also be used. You can use Luke chapter 10, 25. The priest passed, the Levi passed, the Good Samaritan stopped and said, will be a help to this man who has been demolished. This man who has been. That man's condition is the same as what these people are going through. You want to be of help to them, please do. Whichever way. Not much is required from you, but enough will be needed. All right. That's it. Those are the pointers. Let's review of the comments, and then we turn to the line. You'll be watching our men can go anytime on LEC or so on. Go, I beg you don't cut off your system. You keep it on. We'll come back in no time. Yeah, we have to manage our fuel. Ain't easy. Felicia Swain. All right. Yeah, that the boss, the regime speaker area. Matthew Choloplay, right? Most of those guys working in this useless Bwaka government are very dull. They are the regime senator can call anybody spineless again. Oh, we are Senator Dillon is calling his colleagues spineless. They don't have the balls. They show Emmanuel Bro said, if it is true that Gafan has reversed the harmonization, then it means that he and the UP have once again violated the Constitution. Certainly. But the people have time. That thing just there as Constitution. The people ain't going by that thing. You know, the party running their own government whichever way they can. They ain't got time for anything. Perry Slobot, right? show that everything that is happening, Bukhari is aware of it. The demons take over the entire government. Ophelia Manjolo, right? But that old cargo is not coming back. Cargo, no cargo. Philip Nangwe said 2029, God will not make new votes. Yeah. And Waka said God is not making new lands. Thank you, Philip. 2029, God will not make new votes. Your mark your mark in your diary, please. Your mark these words or these things the people saying, your mark that the same thing they say, oh, and you harmonize our salary, we harmonize your vote. Unity Party people, they mark it in their diary. They mark it in the diary. That's what they use against CDC. Boaga say God not making new lands. So God is the head. God is the director for land authority. So he said God not making new land. The AFL land. So you want land, you go, you look for your own. God not making new land. I don't know how he understood that. Anyway, the parable man, the deacon. So but your market. So Philip, I like it, yeah. 2029, God will not make new votes. Thank you. That's true, you're right. Miata Dan said it doesn't matter whether they voted. Voting is people's constitutional right. Yeah. Ben T. Guer Jr., Rescue Government, CKA, God not making new law. I say, I love my people. Thank you. You're getting it. And I say, God not making new law. Miata writes again, I don't blame him. He can now afford decent clothes. Lazy a liability. My people, yeah, these people are so great. I can enjoy your man. That's why when you come on, I can miss you. If I made that get you today, he said, God, I'm making new land. God, I'm making new land for you. God, will not make new vote 2029. Fred Nimland Dix. Okay. Yes, I got that. All right, man. Let's get to the line. As your comment come, you're sending it, I will read it out, yeah? Anna Taylor said 2029 on new vote. Joseph Togbaze, before 2029, God will be the judge. No, God will not be the judge. God not making new votes. Rita had said, we told them that the man they wanted, but the way Unity Party lazy, we are coming for them 2029. George Manning Weir is coming back. We are getting there. Yeah, that's good. JB, they're gonna making you like, Well, get it. Ain't go inside. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's have you have your say, and then we are out. 0772 2399 0886 304497 0777 The WhatsApp is 0886 304497. Let's go with the other one. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, I'm Orlando Wama. I'm going to talk about.
Yes, yeah, you Otelo.
Yeah, thank you very much for the program. But what I know now, that's what you go out after that. No, so in a line that what I pay no new. Then what I have to again. So in a line, what I put what don't go out, man, living for the area. That what my area for them. Thank you very much.
Hello. Hello. Cut off your radio. Cut the radio off. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm not being called for attention. Tell me, I just want to ask the question. Do any battling before you came in power, Liberia? Anybody against him before he came in power? From 2005 and 2011, they were in power. They will do any battling. They in Liberia, they will apologize to him because the thing I doing to because if somebody do battle somebody, so I go out they look on away. They will do any battle. They tell Liberia to apologize to him. They forgive for because information to the end will kill us. We are scared in the country. In the country, we scared.
All right, my baby.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, my baby. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
I need a change store from Firestone. You know, we get people leadership. We're not checking the background. People say I want to be minister. Then you're not checking the background. We'll do it. We'll take foreigner and get them leadership tomorrow. Then the citizens suffer. Thank you.
So who the foreigner now? You gone off for chief? Hello.
What's up, Mr. Andrew? It's Peter Carr from Tansy Westport. Thank you for the program this evening. Get me, Andrew?
Yeah. Let's hear you, Peter.
Thank you very much. Oh man, let me tell you something. Joseph Bola plan for the country. He doesn't plan to spoil the whole country, to spoil Liberia. He's been planning. That man planning. I'm telling you from today. But what Baka is doing now, the next thing is what will happen. Before you do see that, you must call the people and talk to them. You know, when a former president, all the past leaders, they talk to the people. You work coming now, you must talk to the people. Can't just break the people down. It's fast. You're cool at that. But play the sport, all that when you do so, the play will never be there. All the first one Europa did before. The error stayed there. The error stayed there. All the errors, it never face it today. It still remain there. So the way the main play is to spoil this country. So thank you for the program. So leave the laboratory now to open the eye about who go. You know who to vote for. The person who vote for is president. We are who are playing for this country. To be very to the country here, and many will vote for. Forget about Buka. Buka will never do for the country. Will spoil abroad. Thank you for the program.
Hello.
Then Andrew, how you doing, Papa?
Yeah, doing good. Thank God. And you?
Doctor, man, on the line with you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they say we want this person. We gave them the new person. They say crying for Hong Kong. What are they crying? Andrew, you are asking who the foreigner. That boy the foreigner. You asking them who the foreigner? Don't pretend, my God. Don't pretend, Papa. No. Someone made for real. Then you want to ask them. That's what I'm saying. I guess that Baga the foreigner. Go keep on pretending what to for you. Yes. And they're not listening to that. See, so I don't. I used to again. But then I'm cool. You go behind age or more. You want to be
the you man, no, that you like Jesus.
I get it. I can follow it, so I get it. I know about it.
You like Jesus. You really like to be in the fries, oh.
In the fries. I'm following it. That's what me from Australia. I'm following everything.
What?
So I'm telling you, to be careful. Now you got it. They will say the man push on in the phone and said, no, you not get it. Then go insult it so you get it. Okay.
I saw that one. I say, I don't want your man 60 now. Okay, that she the one we're talking me, not me. Okay, you realize jeez, man. You realize jeez, man. I see you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm say.
Yes, yeah, you.
Yeah, thank you the evening today. But I got to pay there. I always say it. You got to pay there. And if ever got to pay, you have to pay all of you. Because all the person who go to the who go forward, kill the poor, they polish the man. The man is jail. The man are selling you. Without having a class, that's selling you. So you don't care for them, they pay it. All they want every to say that job to give it to we are. The man will answer it. But we're telling him that we are going to get a country. And now he get a country. That it might be you see woman. So maybe he take it say he be a man, but he not be a man. That be a poor low book, but they get sick. That's why they were correcting. You know why correcting the poor there? See why you are all new. You come up for the people, and they can't see the poor get through. Well, you want to pay the poor money back. That we will pay the money back. But we tell him, power can be in one person hand. It can get in another person hand. I always talking it. You can't pay there. But when you come somewhere here, just pick up who you don't pay, you're yelling up. You're telling. When you come somewhere here, that's what you want. If for every one of you who feed out people, so you're about buying. We say that you go feed out, police people to put their eye. So that if Sa'adu, they make up it there.
All right, my
sister. They will not say there to go forward. So thank you, lady.
All right, my sister.
That's why I want to call it better.
Okay. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
And let me say a pleasant good afternoon to the listener for your broadcast. I'm Christian. Sorry for any buy and I do position this afternoon from the headquarters of the Exchange Bureau on the Bible Avenue of Winter. Well, Mr. Ancho, let me appreciate you for your narrative. And Mr. Ancho, sometimes it baffles me when the Unity Party folks continues to use the word rescues. Who are they rescuing? Are they the same? Are they rescuing the people that they are imposing suffering on? What are the rescue mechanisms are they put in place so that people can be rescued? Job creation, nothing. The president lied to the Liberian people and later on information minister came to do clarity on the lies the president offered to the Liberian people. People are still begging on the street. St. Andrew was surprised this morning. I woke up by an old lady in Tokomere to beg me for $150 so that she can buy one cup of bread to eat. It's just embarrassing what the rest when we are experiencing under Mr. Barker who claims to have all of the experience. St. Andrews, we cannot continue to be beggars. Our country, the unemployment rate has increased. People are settling home. People are losing their relationship and afford to put food on their family tables. People are being abandoned by the families because they cannot afford to get jobs to be able to sustain their family. Are they the rescue? Is it a Barker that the people voted for? The people chanted slogans for? I'm just embarrassed by this government proceedings, man, St. Andrews.
All right, Chief.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I'm Purple Corner, Down Coast Stone Hill, Winter Community. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much. As I sat by my radio and listened to the president, sounding the way he sounded, Mr. Andrews, I begin to think about the voice our brother used for the last 6 years. He said, President, we have destroyed the country. He said, President, we are king from the football field. He said, President, we are ran an immature government. Mr. President, Mr. Andrews, whenever you are taking decisions, the first and foremost thing that you should look at will be always look at the returns of your decision. Mr. President, district number 5 who woman voted for you. That lady who is crying, she voted for you. That's why you produced the Unity Party plus LP lawmaker in that district. Mr. President, you telling the people say, go now creating land. When you went to Boston, where you made that remark that you only came to help to rescue Liberia, only you, the children will not sell. Children are supposed to be in school, will be in school. And you know that God will not create the extra land? And Mr. President, is it true that indeed you are not in charge of our country? Is it true that indeed you are not a Liberian, you came to avenge or revenge on the Liberian? And Mr. President, what are you doing so? Is this the rescue the people voted for? This is number 3 or this is number 5? Is this the rescue that you voted for? But that is the return of your decision. The next one has to do with Gafwan. Hey, Gafwan. Gafwan, people say you are Gaf. You are expert. But Gafwan, you continue to disgrace yourself. Oh. The first thing you told us, we will go to prayer bank. Another time again, you came, you lie. Things are legislated. How can you sit in your own office and say you are cancer? You see the kind of disgrace you brought? But this is Gafwan. This is why you guys put the suitcase on the street to protest profusely under President Weah. Here you guys are disgracing yourself. The hints to a wife is quite sufficient. Liberia, this is the rescue you brought. This is the 42 years experience. This is the what they are giving you. Thank you very much, Israel, or Sam, for always giving us the opportunity to contribute and remind our brothers who insulted us yesterday of the dirty deeds that they went to us. Thank you very much. May God bless Liberia and God bless the good people of Secretary in neighbor country. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sanju.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's Robert calling for justice. Sanju, thank you very much. Sanju, we told the Liberian people, I tell God, thank you. I receive what we say that in our houses. We will pray for President. We will pray for the journalists and not only the media that tell the Liberian people the truth and they are saying the truth. When they were speaking the truth, they said they get a crowd reloaded. But now there are people seeing their lie and they're not listening to them again. The whole world, they are complaining now. That Bwakala mean well for the nation. We were talking and they were forcing off when they met the power union. But now, the Liberian people, they are saying the truth for our United Party. At our reason, I said, tell God for President, we have to turn the power over for the people to see for themselves. Because if they are going to turn the power over, they say, oh, the father going to do quickly, President, we are not getting change. But God, thank you for the leader that you choose that have wisdom. He said, Bwaka win, Bwaka take the country. Bwaka take the country, we never will see here. Liberians are dying in their own country. They are fled in their own country. They are suppressed in their own country. They say number 5, where they voted, they are represented from United Party, from Liberty Party. They voted our woman and they voted Bwaka. That they want the party saying the people today. While I'm making new land. Oh, Bwaka, thank you for the Liberian people. Thank you. When the death number 5, they are listening to me. I want to tell you, we told you that the people they can't pay debt. We tell you, Bwaka mean well, that the people come to be in charge. The people will not be in charge. You have to when in a wheelchair, we'll put in there. When you in a castle, we'll put in there. That the mayor power in the nation today. I see how the nation are scar. The pastor are going in common. The people are going common. The whole country are going common because they don't have much to talk. They were insulting the men that have wisdom. The men that want to deliver the country. They were insulting. See how the country looking. But thank God for my president and thank God for the leadership of CC, the indigenous of that nation that will not get the country power that will live better life. Thank you. Will not listen to me. Thank you.
Okay.
That one will rail from the grave. They will rail from the truth. And
all right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's leave Liberia and get out. Hello. Let's leave Liberia and get. Yeah, yeah, you are on. You are on. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Andrew, Mr. Andrew. This is Emmanuel Nimne calling from Minnesota. You know, my brother, I listened to the president just now on the social media. I could really feel the ignorance of the Liberian people voting for him in his voice. That may sound like someone from different country who had the opportunity to become president for Liberia. And he sound like someone who came to retaliate. But nevertheless, we will ask God, God will help us, and that identical man will leave from all our country one day. Thank you so much.
How's the situation in Minnesota now with these eyes?
Our governor, Governor Tim Ward, and the city mayor for Minneapolis is doing well, working in line with the federal government, and they are trying to put situation under control so that they can work the best way that we get the nation and the state back on path that citizens will be able to have their free movement. But as for the time, things are going under control, and the governor is doing his best so that things can get better for immigrant and citizens.
So they're not moving everywhere as they were from the onset, eh?
No. It kind of a little bit so sad. There are some procedure now, and the police is doing well, and it's the government. I mean the city government is actually trying to come in deeply, but all is being done through modality between the city government and the federal government.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a nice day there in Minnesota. All right. Let's go. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Semadru.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Peter W. Castle. I call from under the street light in Lower Johnsonville. Mr. Semadru, is quite unfortunate that the government that came to rescue is not rescuing but destroying the people. You know, the lady that you play her recording, if you listen it, how she started her business, she started it from Continuum to have been elevated into a renowned entertainment center with a guest house that even overshadow the most popular guest house around Pinsville, that is Viewpoint. See, and the popular name is Help Yourself. Help Yourself, that's the name of an entertainment center. So to see a government that came to rescue, to look at that kind of renowned institution, a lady that is struggling for her life, you know, to destroy those whom it's somewhat and quite unfortunate. You see, during any time, the AFL decided to take that particular area. Eddie spoke with them, even during we are time, and we are doing the same thing. So we expected the rescue government, which is headed by Joe Imabuakai, to come with that particular leadership and a sense of patriotism. Because those people that are living over there are thousands of people that have developed that particular land and they use their resources. While you, as a president, you can use your innovation, your power, your political will to communicate as other past presidents did. But you went there, you start telling the people, oh, God cannot, who do not know, even a child that is born today, know that, and that God will never create new land. And I think that was complete naivety on the part of Joseph Imabuakai. And that's why sometimes we agree with people that clearly articulate to us that Joseph Imabuakai is not in control of this particular and the country. We forget he has a deficiency called amnesia. And lastly, let me appreciate and Honorable Edwin Snow for that particular communication. We have a surrogate from and a LCC that are arguing that LCC was harmonized. So when Gafford appeared, he found the House of the Legislature, precisely the Senate, stand with a prima facie, it will communicate and provide us a clear argument. But for us, we are fully aware those institutions were not harmonized. Financially, he's very much upgraded. And Augustine Gafford is just a politician. He lasts too much. And it is his line that continue to derail and disintegrate this particular government into the death come 2029. So we are fully prepared. We are observing the process to see how things will work out. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
This is Edmund Carr, and I'm the visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah 2029. You know, when I saw that thing before you could come on, what you said, I already told you what it was not AR. You know, so when you start there, when you were discussing about the lady what she went through already, so I kept thinking, I said, I want to say something. So when you started talking about it, I said, Are you killing me? The president would not even allow the journalist to complete his question. He said, consider who? I go. Yeah. That's probably we so. The thing we are looking for is a serious issue. So here, president asking that question to consider who? This Liberia people? Eh? AFL need decent life. What kind of decent life? With a very barren that they are occupying now. Here, Rafi Highway, Kiantodi, or any rest and let's go on. Go there and go see. You talk about a living decent life. The one that you are going to start all over to build. Is that a decent life? Are they going to live? The one that they are in now, you cannot condition it to their level. Then you're talking about decent life? So the little part that went to Capitol Building yesterday, I was watching on one of the new outlets. She was there again today. She said she met with Rachel said she will go back tomorrow 12 o'clock for so I think she just over now for her. Because the president has already spoken. He said he can't consider any of y'all. But we are in prayer with you people. As I was saying this morning, they are our brother, they are our sister. They are not going to be punished for decision because we have plenty of political parties in this country. When you vote the way in which your own voting treat you, that's it. But the way in which we encourage them, because we need them. You need a number to win the election. So we encourage them that you have a place. While they wrote the last time that there is hope in the midst of adversity, the year we are now, where is the hope that you are giving them? There is no hope. Their hope have been dashed. As for Gaffer, they are inviting him to play from. He is inviting him, and they're going to play from all of him. Because it is clear that Gaffer cannot just talk about rewriting harmonization. He just focus on one or two institutions. No. When you talk about rewriting the whole harmonization, come on and tell we talk about the entire country. Then you are serious, but you cannot go and just need 2 to 3 institutions. Then you say you have rewrite harmonization there to challenge 12 and call us to 12. This is what we want. Like you said the last time that if they will grab all of you and put you in jail, you will write and give it to us to bring it up. Yes. You'll be at their throat. This is what they are not resting. Unity Party is in complete confusion. Keep pushing them, don't get in jail. You just left the leadership just 2 years ago. You will sit here and allow these lazy and wicked people to clear over our people and lie, not keep challenging them so that they will be able to be forced to do the right thing. If they fail, 2029 will tell. Thank you.
Right. Let's get back to your comments, those you just left, and the ones we didn't hold on. I'll get back to you. Princess LPS said President George Weah is coming back. We told you that Joe Boakai is a complete demon. Liberians, let us shine our eyes. Don't when I respect, I presume I presume. Gabriel Man writes, actually, God will make new votes to surpass Boakai's 2023 17K votes by Weah, reaping that amount 200K before. Yes, that's true. That's true. God will definitely make new votes, and those new votes will surpass the 17,000. Right? You couldn't have put it any better, Gabriel Mount. Thank you for that. Good reasoning. Joseph Togbo, God is bringing Weah back in 2029. We seditions, we are coming back. Your Rita Hard, Unity Party is a lazy party. So in 2029, God will make new land because George Manawia is coming back 2029. CDC all the way. All right. Beatrice Red said, very aggressive and arrogant president. They will agree on par. GMB, whether he's in the chair, we vote for him. All right. That's good. That's good. Let's have this break. Then we are returns to the presidency 2029, and then we are out. This break.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the world. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that's why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the bottom. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the bottom. Tired with the promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that's why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The government betray us.
Exercise patience. The time isn't far again. The road is not very far. It's getting close. Gradually, we'll get there. All of those lies, all of those fake promises, all those betrayers, God will not have a say in it. No, God will not participate. It will be merciless. And no one will call on God. God will not even be in the position to listen to anybody. Everybody will be on their own, and God will not listen. God is not in the business of determining votes. God will not interfere. God does not interfere with making new lands. God does not make new land, and so God does not make new votes. George Weah, former president, global icon, standard bearer, Congress for Democratic Change, returns to the presidency 2029. George Weah, former president, a political heavyweight. They wrote for him not long again. We are getting close. Just as he said he is doing, that he will be engaged with the politics of the day. And engagement has a purpose.
I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
Engagement goes with having a clear, well-defined purpose. When the purpose is defined, well thought out, there is the engagement. The engagement is the step after step into what was projected. One can determine the future. It is on to everybody to determine the future. You can determine your future and ready to get engaged with your future. It becomes the reality when you are consistently engaging. Once you are consistent with your engagement, your goal or purpose is thought out, well defined, and you are engaging. There is every 100% possibility of getting your goal achieved, reaching your earmark destiny. That's what George Weah and the Congress for Democratic Change is doing. Fully engaged, remaining fully engaged. Fully engaging does not mean, or not the understanding that most people have in this country politically. Their understanding of fully engaged being combative, being unruly, ballistic with people than the issues, being loud mouthing. When you aren't doing any one of those things, they think you are not engaging. George Weah, former president of the Republic of Liberia, knows what fully engaged is, and if you are aware of what it is, you see everything that fully engaged with George Weah going into 2029. It is not who shouts, screams. It is not who called a press conference, or it is in the press. He is in the press, he's on the radio all of the time. No, if you will consider that as being fully engaged or engaging, you are wrong. Fully engaged or being fully engaged is working out your plan without publicizing, without trumpeting, without crusading, without any publicity stunt. A well thought out plan is not for people, it's not a topic for people. It is against that backdrop. You hear some people say that George Weah is not talking. George Weah is not talking. George Weah is not talking. George Weah is weak. Because their understanding of fully engaged, you must be combative, you must be aggressive, you must create the political hype, the media celebrity. You should just do everything that your name is in the media, your name is on the radio, your name is online, and you're being talked about. They consider that as being fully engaged. Former President George Weah is a distinct type, and his engaging is not loud muffin. It's not the attention for the media, but does what is right to get to his finish line. And that's what he is doing. Expect to hear nothing very often from former President George Weah. When the need be, you will hear. But every other thing, he's working on it. And that's how a person who is futuristic, a person who has a well thought out plan, goes about with it. Being fully engaged is not to take your plan as a community project for people to appraise. When you take your plan for the community to appraise, you are not going to achieve it, because everything will have been discussed in the media whichever way, and then you wouldn't. Every sound person, every futuristic person keeps his or her plan fully engaged with himself, with herself, of himself, of herself. A fully engaged person is that person that engages his idea, his plan, his vision, his policy, with all of the factors attached to it, with the vision or seeing the promised land before he can get there. If you look at the politicians in this country and former President George Weah, former President Weah is different. You see by practical definition what is meant by fully engaged. Not being combative, not being ballistic, not being unruly with institutions and individuals, not attracting celebrity attention to be discussed in the media. A fully engaged person knows what he wants to achieve, having planned his vision and forecast the vision. Is engaged with it, meaning it's involved with the vision, and it's not out for people. It's not out. So you don't hear former President Weah talking this, getting into that. Very seldom you hear former President Weah talks. And when he talks, it shakes the country. The government trembles. The president, in Joseph Yema Boakai, worried. A fully engaged person is not intimidated by the presence of another person. He or she is concerned principally with his plan. And that's who former President George Weah is.
I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
Do this favor for yourself, which will be good for you. Go back into history. Look at the former president in opposition. And look at the former president as president, and look at the former president in opposition presently. Get back to me with a difference of those two situations, three situations. You won't, there will be no difference, because the same fully engaged George Weah in opposition wasn't antagonizing, wasn't bombastic, wasn't ballistic, didn't create any agitation, didn't influence people to cause havoc, didn't create any chaos, but maintained fully engaged with the issues responsibly in opposition. That same personality got into the presidency. Just as he conducted himself fully engaged, actively engaged, understood his plan and his goal, didn't create any undesirable situation for anybody, wasn't creating any publicity or attention unto himself, but stuck himself to the issue. Whenever the government of the day, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government did XYZ, said XYZ, he, former President George Weah in opposition, will be the one to calm his people, will be the one to give them a lecture, will be the one to tutor them, to counsel them. I can remember, and this former Representative Akaras Gray has the story. According to him, it became heated that former President Weah, at the time, Unity Party people said, oh, he wasn't educated, he knew nothing, he can do this. You know as how it was then. According to former Representative Gray, who gave us that practical reality, he said former President George Weah called them in his bedroom when the issue was tense, when Unity Party people were coming down with all kinds of stuff against the Congress for Democratic Change, and principally their prime target, him, George Weah. He told them, guys, if this is the argument, if this what they are using, academic weapon against us, let us drop everything, go back to school. There is time in our favor. We have years in our favor. We would still win the election. As former Representative Akaras Gray, he said in the room, every one of them was speechless. The atmosphere changed. They never saw that coming from former President George Weah. He told them, we have everything in our favor. We have yes in our favor. Leave all of those things that they have said. They continue to say about academic qualification, not qualified. Let's go back to school. We have yes in our favor. Right there, Akaras Gray said, George Weah was resolute, and all of them accepted, fully engaged. Former President Weah in opposition. Everybody saw his life. He never created any uneasiness. He never created crisis. He remained fully engaged. I am telling you what it is. The difference between former President George Weah, under the caption, Weah returns to the presidency, the personality that fully engaged, actively engaged, not getting attention onto himself, not being unruly, not creating any kind of uneasiness, not agitating, not creating chaos, but maintain a calm personality. That same actively engaged personality understood his plan, his policy. That same, it took him to the presidency. In the presidency, all kinds of things were happening. He remained actively engaged. You would call them to the table and say, let's discuss, let's iron things out. He will meet them, and on. Everybody saw that. The same personality is in opposition. You don't see him engaging unruly. You don't see him causing mayhem. You don't see him antagonizing. You don't see him provoking anybody. You don't see him creating any tension in the country. Against that backdrop, people conclude that George Weah is weak. No. The same personality, that same personality, remember now, don't understand this to mean comparison with God. No. If you are a Christian, you know biblical lines. You can read, or if you have the discernment to read into political lines, you can contextualize. What I've explained to you, what did God say? In Malachi 3:6, we are told, he said, I am the Lord thy God, I change not. Now, what that means is the personality that he is that personality. Check it out if you have the time to go through biblical history. It is the same I'm explaining. I'm not comparing former President Weah with God. I am talking about personality. The personality that was in opposition, did not cause chaos, did not create any mayhem in this country, did not tell people to do this, to do that, did not do any one of those things. Instead, he was the one who was talking to his supporters who were agitated, who wanted to create, do X, Y, Z. He was the one calming them down. That personality took him, that conduct, that kind of actively engaged, took him into the presidency. That personality from the opposition into the presidency did not change his actively engaged nature. He remains the same George Weah. And every one of them. Let me give you another event. This story was told by his chief of office staff, his current chief of office staff, Len Eugene Nangwe, when a given situation occurred involving Punch FM and Patrick Horner and the Unity Party people all over the place saying all kinds of things. They want to do this, they want to do that. And Eugene Nangwe said they got vexed as supporters of the former president in his cabinet. They went to him and raised the issue with the understanding that he should take action. What did Eugene Nangwe say? He said it was former President Weah who calmed them down and told them, you don't have to get bitter. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to do anything whatsoever. Just leave it. Let them say what they want to say. They're entitled to their opinion as long as they are not infringing on our rights. Eugene Nangwe said they got cold right there. That seemed the personality from the opposition, how he conducted himself, how he may remain fully engaged. It took him from the opposition into the presidency. That personality actively engaged with himself, with the issue that remains. And then what happens? He's out of the presidency in the opposition. Look at former President George Weah in his opposition life. Has anything changed? No, he remains the same. His personality does not change. It is what God meant in Malachi 3:6 when he said, I am the Lord thy God, I change not. Meaning, he remains the person he is, but his dealing with issues change. Because how he deals with Sam Andrews based on what Sam Andrews would do or did is different from how he would deal with Cynthia Moses based on Cynthia Moses' situation. But he is the same God. The same George Weah in opposition with that unique, refined conduct, fully engaged, actively engaged, not the other way around. Into the presidency, it took him into the presidency. His personality did not change. The presidency did not change his personality. He's in opposition. He remains the same person. He remains the same. You give me a time, as far as you people know, as far as you people mental recollection can serve you, give me a single event that former President George Weah in opposition caused chaos, agitated, told his people to do X, Y, Z, just as we saw of the other people when they were in opposition. Just as when the current president was in opposition, as he told his people, you give me one event, just one. In the presidency, give me one. Former President Weah had everything available to him as a leader, but his personality never changed. The aura of the presidency didn't change him. That same personality is in opposition. Give me one event since he got in opposition with all of the things that have been happening, everything that have been orchestrated against him, that he ever retaliated or threatened to retaliate or agitated or attempted to cause agitation. It's the other way around. Peace, love, unity, country, love for country. Is it not against such backdrop that people would say, even some of his supporters would say he's weak? Is it not against that same backdrop that some of his people left him? And may I inject this? It doesn't matter. If that doesn't happen, you can make a better comeback. I cannot tell you how many persons from the late Martin Luther King inner cycle left him. I can give you pretty close to 7, 8 great leaders of the world in their struggle. When they achieved, they were out, and even in their struggle, people left them. It's not the news. Nothing new with former President George Weah. His personality remains the same. What am I telling you simply? Here is it. Under the caption, Weah returns to the presidency 2029. The same conduct, the conduct in opposition, the fully engaged, actively engaged personality did not change in opposition. The same personality went into the presidency. It did not change. The presidency didn't change him. He remains humble, respectful. The same personality is in opposition. This country, this government has no claim whatsoever of the former president creating any chaos, mayhem, causing stir whatsoever. But the country and the government bears witness of this man's peaceful nature. Against him, he called for peace. Against him, he calls for love for country, stability of the country, peace of the country, prioritizing the country first. In a political reasoning, take it or leave it, it is the key that unlocks the opportunity. It is the key. Look at it. Former President Weah doesn't need to do anything extra. The only thing in this thing here, I am telling you, sit in from any veteran and raise this issue, explain it. They will tell you the former president don't need to do anything extra. He just needs to keep his quiet, his cool. Will be the greatest weapon against his opponents. Simple. When people telling you you're weak, you're weak. You know within yourself you aren't weak. But you know the plan you have in place. You know what you are pursuing. At the close of the day, the same people would say, oh, we can see why he was like this. We can see why he wasn't talking. We can see why. Now, we are convinced this is what he was aiming at, and he achieved it. Former President George Weah, sophisticated weapon presently against Unity Party is his unique conduct. He's fully engaged. Don't understand being fully engaged or actively engaged to mean that a person should be bombastic, ballistic, unruly, aggressive, inciting. No. Sound person leadership. That's just that. And that's what you see. The sophisticated weapon former President George Weah is using now, going into 2029, is his unique conduct. He's fully engaged. He speaks when it is necessary. He doesn't speak to get attention. You know that. He doesn't write for media institutions, for online to be running. Former President George Weah writes. The former president of Liberia, George Weah, writes, as other politicians like to see. Have you not seen that? Just get on social media. You see that all over. People like that. So somebody just sit and say, let me write something. So the media, the online media will run with it. Then, yeah, that person finished writing. You look on this online media. John Paul, assistant so right. Former CDC official writes. They are freaked. They are carried away by that caption. Attention. No, he writes when. That's why when something comes out, when people attribute it to him, guess what? Everybody, they are doing the validation. They are doing the investigation to know whether that is true, whether it is actually attributed or not attributed, coming from the former president, because he hardly speaks. A person who talks all of the time, in the media, every thing that come out, even when you, everybody will believe it. A person who seldom talks, when somebody says something about that person or attributes something to that person, everybody trying to investigate it. Say, are you sure? The reason for that, because they don't know that person to be talking all of the time. So they want to say, you sure that thing here is coming from the former president? When you hear people asking that way, they are telling you, we don't know this man to just be talking. The man talks once in a while, and whenever he talks, his voice comes with impact. So let's make sure. So when we are saying it, we will say it with surety. That's how he is. It's not that he can talk, not that the issues are not unfolding here, but he's fully engaged with the politics of the day. The expression fully engaged with the politics of the day is a reference for any political issue that concerns him. It can be his party, it can be out of his party, it can be just anything around, anything within his realm, and that he is in the position to address. Don't understand, fully engaged with the politics, that it will be only issue about government blasting like how you have today. I think you have almost all Liberian politicians on various radio stations every day. They were on radio stations last week. This week they're on radio stations. So that's how people understand fully engaged. Then say, Cummings are on the other radio. MPC, Simeon Fremont on the other radio. That's how people want to hear George Weah. No. But he's engaged with the issues. There are decisions that are taken. There are decisions that former President Weah take in this country, nobody knows. But he's engaged. There are decisions coming from outside. There are things former President George Weah thwarted that will have a bearing on this country, but he will not come to take the credit. There are things that former President Weah is engaged, and he tells the people, look, this is it. It's not about me. It is about the country. There are discussions that he and former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will have about the country, but he will not come out and say, me and the president had this, and we had this discussion. We had the discussion like you hear from the other people. That's engaged. That's what they call engagement. Fully engaged with the politics of the day. Being fully engaged with the politics of the day is different from being out with the publicity stunt. You won't get recognition so that people will discuss you here and there.
I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change.
Former President George Weah returns to the presidency 2029, and this is how he's returning. Actively engaged. Don't expect anything ballistic from him. Don't expect anything aggressive. Don't expect anything agitating. No. That's not his nature. If that's what you're wishing for, and that's what Unity Party have always wanted. But he has shown leadership in everything. He maintained a unique conduct of himself, engaged with the issues, don't have to go telling people anything. Just as God said in Malachi 3:6, I am the Lord thy God, I change not. The same way in a political context, George Weah in opposition, the same George Weah into the presidency, the same George Weah in opposition, the same George Weah back into the presidency. That personality can change, but he's dealing with issues, as you heard him say, actively engaged with the politics of the country. Varies. Simple. I see you. Thank you. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Join us this evening at 8 when the doctor himself is in, the light of the nation, the teacher of the land, the evangelist, Anthony at Law, A.B. William, with Face the Issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
Joy. Rastafari. It's a redemption day.
Wagwan must struggle me.
Wagwan revolution, people. Wagwan the blue revolution. You ready? CDC, you ready? Let's go. CDC come. CDC come. CDC build. CDC build. CDC ready. CDC ready. Take what just come in. Yeah, we building a new home. Let's build. Let's build. The men they want the more, them not make it in one way. Hey, let's build. Let's build. We did it before, and we can do it again. Hey, let's build. Let's build. The men they want the more, them not make it in one way. Hey, let's build. Let's build. We did it before, and we can do it again. Now watch this. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. We will do it again. We coming again. We coming again. We coming again. CDC coming again.
Drawing blueprints, breaking ground. A foundation strong where love will stand tall. Every break can be a piece of our hearts. A place we call our own. No matter where the road we go, you are rising. The rules are taking shape, building a new home. With love from the start, through laughter and tears, through the struggle we face, we'll build it strong with joy and grace.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
Hey, yes, young man, exclusive.
Yeah, this. They feel the money, my brother to look for, and I'm playing.